Hello, welcome back to Creative Exploration. Here we back are on YouTube. Here we back are in Comfy. Cubic, Matteo, Latent Vision, he dropped a new version of IP adapters that has some fun new features. I've tested them all so far, and I really like them both. Basically it has to do with the way images are batched together in IP adapters to do animations over time, where you can sort of interpolate between images, and it works really good. It's kind of like steerable motion. Very cool. I like it. There's also another method that involves weaving the prompts in with ControlNet, and unfortunately, because of the way conditioning works in ComfyUI, it's just a much slower process. Great results, but very slow. So tonight I'm going to cover this sort of interpolation method that is sort of the beginner version of the bigger workflow. If you guys want to dig into the bigger workflow, you want to dig into this workflow, it's available in Latent Vision's video. So just go check it out. It's in the description below. They describe all the stuff you need to make it work and how it works and build it all out for you in the video. Also, there are workflows linked. The workflow that I'm using here has just been a heavily modified version of the default workflow for the process. So if you want to start there, you can. And then when we're done tonight, I'll clean this all up and throw it on my Discord so you can just play with it as is, because I've added a few cool things like an image randomizer and some other stuff. So yeah, I think we'll just start by getting into the nitty gritty of how it works and what it does. And I'll try to explain it, but really, if you want a proper, concise explanation of what's happening, you really need to go watch Matteo's videos, Latent Vision. He covers it because he built the tools. So, you know, yeah. But yeah, basically, we're making a batch of here it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 images, and we're repeating the last image and like the first image, so that when it loops around on itself, it lands so that it makes a perfect loop every time. How can I explain what's happening? So it's not unlike our normal animatediff stuff that we do with IP adapters and the masks, but we're not using masks this time. We're just transitioning between images. So what he's done is added a basically it's a way to weight the IP adapters over time, over the duration of the generation. So basically, like you start each one here. I'm starting each one at 0.66. And then over the course of the next one, it's dropping down to 0. So it's interpolating between the images. I'm doing 0.66 to let it dream a bit and let the prompt take over a little bit, to add a little bit of cohesion to the prompt. So basically, yeah, I've just been playing with it a lot, and I found backing off the IPAdapter Weights a little bit works really well. But yeah, this stuff's all open for you to play with. This new weights node, once you load up the workflow, you'll see it. Frames is how many frames it stays on each image. And you can add frames at the beginning and end to anchor the video. So if you wanted to freeze on a few frames at the beginning and then start going, you can do that. Same with the end. So it all depends on what kind of animation you want to make. This is a result of one of the animations. I haven't even showed you guys how cool this thing is yet. So this is interpolating between these 9 images using a custom motion LoRA I trained on flames flying towards the left. That's what all this motion is in the background here, this sort of floating. So you can always get custom motion LoRAs from Civitai. Jeru makes great ones. Nope Burger makes really good ones. Try a bunch of different motion LoRAs with this workflow. You just drop them in to the animatediff loader over here. Just drop in a motion LoRA, load a motion LoRA, and then yeah, you can just train your own or go get motion LoRAs. The community has a bunch available. I have a video on training them too. If you want to learn how to do that, it's a couple videos back. It says custom motion LoRA in the title, and teaches you how to train a motion LoRA. But it's basically just grabbing the workflow off GitHub and running the default settings. So it's easy. Just takes about 13 or 14 gigs of VRAM. So yeah. So I'm gonna try. I trained a LoRA on water flowing down. So I'm gonna try that for this next run. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna generate 8 images, and then I'm gonna make a folder, and then we're gonna pull them out of the folder using fill nodes, image randomizer. So basically, I'm gonna run it, and then while it's running, I'll talk about all these things and what they do. So hopefully we can demystify this rat's nest a bit. I know this is not as nice as my normal node groups. I haven't grouped everything yet, and everything's just sort of just color coded and everywhere. So I think what we'll do tonight is try to make a little more sense of this, and then we'll clean it up a bit. And so hopefully I'll help my understanding, and we'll help your understanding, and we'll get it working. But what I really like about this workflow is it's fast. It's very low VRAM requirement for what it's doing. Let me actually double check that. Wild claim I just made. Yeah, it's under 12 gigs, and I'm streaming. So I think you could do this easily on a 8 gig card. Really cool way to use mid-journey renders you've made. Really cool way to use art you've made. We always make and generate stuff, but we don't end up using it for anything. So this is a really cool way to start interpolating between the images that you've been making to make some flowing dreams and stuff. Building some narratives out of the images you've been creating with all these tools. This process pairs very well with like Midjourney or any other external image generator, because then you can be making images while your animation is going and just keep going back and forth. In my case, I just built a dead simple little SDXL with a LoRA generator thing where I can make one image until I like it, and then we can just generate a batch of 8, then grab those images, toss them in a folder, and point it at the other workflow. So these two workflows in 2 different tabs. Basically, this is my Midjourney replacement for making synthetic data to make animations from. So yeah, I was trying this HR Geiger rainbow thing and was getting some cool results, but yeah, we can try something else. Let's see what other LoRAs I have. Let's try. We could try a bismuth one. Bismuth. So one thing you always have to do is go back to Civitai and figure out the trigger words for all your LoRAs. This one is bismuth. Is it this one? Yeah, so it's Ral Bismuth. So usually it's the name of the LoRA. Like this is actually it, and this is the name of the LoRA. So this one worked out, but yeah, it's usually best to check, make sure it doesn't have a strange activation word or a series of activation triggers. All right. I know I'm jumping back and forth a lot, but this is 2 different workflows that work together. So we're on the image generation side right now, trying to make some synthetic data to animate. So let's try large bismuth sculpture in an alien environment. Dramatic lighting, cinematic photography. So because it's SDXL, I'm just going to feed this into both prompts. This is the linguistic, and this is the subjective. I forget. There's 2 different kinds of prompts for SDXL. If you don't know what you're doing, just put the same prompt in both. Same deal with the NSFW and nude and all the stuff you want to put in your negative. All right. And I'm just using Juggernaut XL Run Diffusion We're trying that bismuth style LoRA, which makes some cool stuff. And then we'll try it with some large sculptures in an alien environment, dramatic lighting, cinematic photography. See what it makes for one image. If it's good, we'll make 8, and then we'll put them in a folder. What's up, Corey? What's up, D-Tar now? How's everybody doing? If any of this is confusing, you don't know what the hell we're talking about, just scroll back. Go back to the beginning of the video and start from the... Oh, okay. Start from the beginning because, yeah, you know, won't make any sense. All right. So these are pretty cool. I don't want people, though. So let's try person, people, man, woman, child, person. No, that's fine. Person, people, man, woman, child. Yeah, let's just try. I just want like large geometric. I'm trying to get like more like architectural sculptures, not like you know, statues and stuff. Just because we're on YouTube and there's always a chance for NSFW stuff. So let's stay away from the ladies, just in case. These are cool. So let's make a bunch of these. So I'm going to change my batch size to 8. So now we're going to generate 8 images instead of 1. And then if they're cool, I'll just grab them and toss them in a folder. And then we'll use that folder as the folder for our randomizer. And I'll show you how that all works. That's the fun part about Comfy, is being able to sort of weaponize these workflows to make like a just like a system for generating pieces. It's almost like building out presets on a modular synth, and just having these little sort of go-to, you know, inspiration machines that you can go back to. Hey, Bennett. Yeah, this is a cool workflow, and it's very low. Like there's a lot of nodes, but it's not a lot of you have to do really to use it. You just, you know, make some cool images and throw them in there. So what do we got? We got just a bunch of cool sculptures and this lady. Perfect. Let's hit it. I'm gonna hit up my outputs directory, grab those images, and I'm gonna just throw them in my inits folder. Recommend you start in a inits folder, init images folder, you know, like thing where you store all the images that you make, because we got all these you know, we got all these images, we might as well use them. So you just grab the folder that you want, you go back over to the other workflow and just pop it in here in this primitive string, and this is it plugs into the directory path of every single one of these randomizer nodes. These randomizer nodes are great. They use a run trigger, which means they just use a seed. So you just use a seed everywhere node, and you can decide if you want them all to be randomized or fixed or whatever. I'm randomizing them all so that they all spit out different images. And then this last one here, I'm actually feeding in the first one. One of them I'm feeding in twice. Yes, this one. So this one's just repeated. This final one is just repeated so that it loops. So you only have to, you know, put in 8 different images. But, you know, sometimes you get duplicates. It's fine. So we've put the path in. We've set the resolution. We're going to go 896 by 512 for the generation. And then the IP adapter width is 512 by 512. And that's the square that we're showing to IP adapter. So it's going to crop in using these upscale image nodes. You're going to crop center and whatever upscale method you like. Those will crop into the right. Maintain aspect ratio and crop into the correct size for IP adapter to look at, so it doesn't overload, because we're loading 8 images into it. So then it goes into this batch batcher, and we're batching the first 5 images, and then we're plugging the batch in as the 6th image. Then we're plugging the rest of the images into 2, 3, 4, and 5 on the second batch. Then we feed that into our weights, IPAdapter Weights node. This is where you set your maximum and minimum for the wave of the IPAdapter grabbing and taking hold and backing off. So our wave is going from about 0.66 instead of full. So I'm not letting the IPAdapter take over completely, because it tends to like really take over, and it almost looks like a slideshow of your images sliding back and forth. So you just got to find the right value. Sometimes it's 0.66, sometimes it's 0.8, sometimes it's 0.5. It depends whether you want your prompt to do more, that's a lower value, or you want your IPAdapter to do more, which is a higher value. Timing, you can play with this. It's the way that the curve works. If you've ever studied curves or used Blender or anything like that, ease in and out, ease in, ease out, basically just changes it into a Bezier curve instead of a linear curve. So a linear curve just goes from 0 to 1 over time. An ease curve will like kind of start and then accelerate into the change, or decelerate out of the change. So ease in accelerates into the change, ease out decelerates out of the change, ease in, ease out, accelerates in, and then decelerates out. So you won't really notice it until you start playing with it, what the difference is. And sometimes it also depends where the context window shifts, but whatever. Yeah. So if you want to do short animations, lower this value to about 6. This will do 6 frames per image. And then you can pick any of these you like. Matteo recommends alternate batches, so that's what I'm using. We load the IPAdapter with the unified loader, and we don't need these nodes. This was me testing stuff. That will help. Okay. We have IPAdapter batch and IPAdapter advanced batch nodes. These are just IPAdapter advanced nodes that can take batches. You'll notice them when you go IPAdapter batch. Right there. There's another one for tiled. There's a tiled version as well, but we're going to use these batch nodes. We're using them because we can change the weight to a input, and then we can plug the weight in from our IPAdapter Weights node. Again, this comes pre-configured in the default workflow and the one that I'll be dropping on my Discord. So don't feel like you got to try to rush to rebuild this right now. You can just literally go get it right now off of that video I linked in the Discord below, or in the description below, off Matteo Latent Vision's video. It's in his description, the link to his workflows for this. So yeah, you can grab that, or then we'll clean this one up and you can grab it off the Discord. So just don't feel like you got to rush to try to rebuild this right now, because I'm not really showing you enough of the nodes and stuff, and it'd be super frustrating. So yeah, don't sweat it. Go grab the default workflow or wait, and I'll drop it on the Discord. Because like I don't want to rebuild this one again on stream. It's overly complicated for what we need to do on stream, I think. If I'm feeling really obnoxious, maybe later I'll rebuild the whole thing on stream. But yeah, we don't really need to, because, you know, Vision already did the hard work. All right. I'm using ease in and ease out for my IPAdapter batch type, weight types. Experiment with them. They're fun. They do different things. They determine how the curve works when you're looking at the strength of these IPAdapter weights over time. I don't know how to quantify it other than to say, go make a bunch of images and change the values when you're making images and try to start to understand what they're doing. It's funny, the weak middle or strong middle, one of these, reverse in out. Reverse in out will always swap the gender of the input image if it's a person, which is crazy. I don't understand. Not always, but most of the time. Maybe somebody who has a PhD in math can explain that to me. After that, we go into a Kohya Deep Shrink, because I'm going 896 by 512, going outside the bounds of 512 by 512. So I want to deep shrink the latent space down to try to reduce double subjects and stuff like that. If you don't use this and you have like faces and stuff, you'll get 2 faces and things like that. deep shrink into the model and then decode into this. And I use the little filter adjustments here to just do a little bit of grading afterwards. This is probably not the preferred method as it's destructive editing. You can always make these changes later in your video editor. It's better designed for it. If you use Resolve, it's got industry standard color grading. I only do this because I just like the way it looks when they come out, and I don't care that much about retaining this during testing. I will not use this when I am generating footage that I will be dealing with later. I only use it just to prettyify outputs a little bit because I get sick and tired of that washed out look that LCM always gives. So yeah, this is destructive. I don't recommend it, but I do it a lot. I guess I'm a bit of a rebel. I don't know. All right. And then we're interpolating the footage into a nice smooth version. All right. And then up here is a bunch of upscaling stuff that I'm not doing anymore. So leave it alone. And yeah, I know it looks like a lot of nodes, and it is a lot of nodes, but a lot of them are just, this is all animatediff stuff. All this is just typical animatediff stuff. We do this every time. The only weird stuff are these this IPAdapter Weights node, these batches, and adding noise into the negative. Yeah, you don't have to add noise into the negative if you don't want to. I've found it does work in the sense that it tries to move away from this noise in IPAdapter and look at the image that comes in. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, that's the whole workflow. So let's hit it. So it'll go through and grab all of our little sculptures and line them all up into the batch. And it's going to do the run now. Oh, yeah. The other thing it does is it asks Moondream to describe this image in a maximum of 3 sentences. Moondream then gives us a prompt. Oh, one sec. I need to remove this. I added this string concatenator to add stuff to the front of the prompt. So I'm just going to add 4K to the front of the prompt. We're going to run it again. So what Moondream does is it looks at the first image, this one here, and then it gives me a prompt. So that my prompt is based on the image that we got. A large pile of rocks is covered in colorful reflections, creating a striking visual effect. The rocks are scattered throughout the room, with some in the foreground and others in the background. The overall impression is of a unique and captivating display. That's not a great prompt, but it's better than me just going 4K, blah, blah, blah. If you don't want to think about it, this is a really good way of doing it. And then that just feeds into the positive prompt. And then I just add this string concatenator to add 4K in front of it. So this prompt will be 4K, comma, space, all this. And that just spits into the clip. Typical LCM settings, about 11 steps, CFG of 2, using the regular LCM model. I'm using realistic vision here with the AnimateLCM LoRA at full. And we're using the AnimateLCM animatediff model. So yeah, you can use any SD15 checkpoint you like with this. Really, 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 really versatile. Plus LoRAs. You can pop the LoRAs in before the LCM LoRA, and they work too. So a LoRA plus a prompt plus backing this off a bit, backing this IPAdapter weight value off a bit, and you've got a lot of control in a lot of different ways. I wonder if there's a way to make Moondream give me a negative prompt. I'd have to think about that. What question would you ask Moondream? Describe the opposite of this picture. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Some flowing bismuth. Bismuth? 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 This is cool. So yeah, we rendered it preview, and now we are film interpolating it to smooth out this this footage a bit. So I'll slow it down, add some frames in between, and there we go. Then there's like, you know, methods you could use to upscale this. There's an upscaler on Banadoko for video. It's a great, have it as a separate workflow. Pop it in, copy and paste the prompt, and go. You don't need to worry about upscaling when, you know, just make some footage and upscale it later. A lot of time, a lot of iterative time is wasted upscaling stuff to see what it's going to look like now. If you're just building, you're just starting, you're just working on this stuff, don't worry about upscaling until later. This is fine for now. You can upscale this with Topaz. It'll look great on socials. Yeah, don't get caught in the upscaling thing, because there's already really good video upscalers available on Banadoko. You can just run them and leave it overnight. Upscaling takes forever. Don't add it to your workflows in general until you're ready. Until you know it's kicking. But even then, yeah, you can always do it in another one. Sometimes it's good to have the latent. Sometimes it doesn't matter. And if you tile upscaling, it doesn't matter. So save yourself the time and energy. This is sick. Let's try something else. Let's try a different LoRA. What do I got? Let's try the opal LoRA. Opal. So let's try a opal statue of an ice dragon in a dark gallery. Let's try these. Maybe we can get it to morph between some cool looking dragon statues. The only downside to this, you know, going back and forth between the two workflows, is you need to reload the models every time, but it's not too bad. Plus, if you get stuck and you're not stuck, but if you get into this, you could just make tons and tons of images and then put them in folders and then go do your animation stuff. So, you know, work however you want to work. I have ADD, so I love to go back and forth. These are cool. Let's make 8 of them. So we're just changing the batch size to 8. There's this great node called SDXL resolution. And when you're working with SDXL, you can just pop this in and plug width and height into anything that takes width and height. More specifically, you can plug this into everything that takes width and height, and then you only have to set your res in one place, and these are all the resolutions that work really well with SDXL. So yeah, recommend that little plug there. That's Comfy Math. I don't know if that comes with Comfy or if that's something I installed at some point, but handy little node. Otherwise, you can just type it into your empty latent image. Doesn't matter. So I'm thinking these might not be different enough, but we'll see. They all seem to be from the same, you know, perspective. One really cool thing that that works with this is you can if you can generate every side of somebody's head, you can use this to like make their head, like do a full 360 of their head. It's pretty cool. Yeah, these are all too similar. I need them in different poses. Let's try. Opal statue, asymmetrical, geometric, generative sculpture, 3D origami, torn paper, in a dark gallery. Gallery. I can spell. Okay, let's give it a little more room to dream, and hopefully we can get... Basically, I want it to be able to morph between stuff as opposed to... Why is it still a dragon? Huh. Yeah, you actually can master FX. There's syntax for that. You just literally pop it in here with your output folder. So like, see if I can find one. All this nonsense. No, there's a... Yeah, here it is. That's a syntax. So you can use that, and I also love the Mikey nodes. Yeah, the Mikey nodes are super helpful. Mikey nodes, if you haven't seen them, file name prefix, date directory first, or just prefix. And then anything that like VHS nodes and stuff, you just change it to an input and the file name prefix. You plug it in. You can give it a custom text, custom directory for each thing, and it'll save them all into date folders and stuff. I do that with workflows that I've got kicking. This one is not really kicking yet. Oh, I had the thing right here. But yeah, that'll put it in a folder with the date and the hour and the time and stuff. So it like, yeah. It's a good way to separate your folders so you don't lose your mind. Okay. Why are you a horsey unicorn cat thing? Opal. Oh, statue. Let's try sculpture. Trying to get a more abstract, low poly, like sculpture type situation. Yeah, like once you get your Mikey node set up, you can save it as a node template, right? And then just drop them, your outputs and stuff, and then, you know, just adjust them for each workflow. Then when, yeah, it's not, I know it's not default, but it's, you know, it's pretty good. Could be worse. These might be cool. Let's try 8 of them. See if they're all like different. That might be cool, like runes. We could try morphing between different runes. Hey, Skycloud, what's up? Sorelius, steep surface. Miles. Oh, yeah. Full house tonight. We're noting. We're noting so hard. Save the groups. Okay. Say I have a thing that I like. I always use this. Let's say I always use this. I right click outside of the nodes and I say save selected as template. Okay. You click that, you say the template. I'll say outputs. And now when I go here, workflow, node templates, there'll be outputs. And when I click it, it'll drop the node tree that I just saved. So you just save those as their own little node groups, and then you can drop them. I do that for like film interpolation stuff where I need to like throw in a batch, you know, things like I don't like doing over and over again. I'll just make a node template for those little setups. This is going to work. That one's a clock, but that's okay. So let's go back to output and I'll grab these and desktop inits. I had an inits folder, I swear. Inits, and then we'll call it opal stuff. Opal. All right. And then we paste the folder into here. And I really like the water flowing, so I'm going to leave that alone. Let's see what it does with our opals. Can't save the groups. Yeah. That's just the way it is. I've been absolutely rinsing that new Justice record. It's so good. Ooh, I think this one's going to be very cool. So what's happening with the motion LoRA is actually quite exaggerated, and that's because I have the motion LoRA up above 0.5. So anytime you get the motion LoRA above 0.5, the motion LoRA, whatever it's trained on, starts to take over your footage. So everything above 0.5 will start to take on the nature of your motion LoRA. And like 0.8 and 0.9, it sometimes can basically just spit out what your motion LoRA was trained on. So, you know, depending on what you trained on, don't be dumb. But I mean, there's so much like CC0 stuff to train on. You don't really need to train on, you know, Hollywood movies and stuff because there's motion everywhere. The most interesting stuff is really nature, and like there's so much free nature stuff. I really say like go find, you know, water flowing, drone footage of flying over stuff. You know, there's so much cool stuff to train on. I want to train on some FPV footage too. Really fast drone flight stuff. Whoa. That is wicked. Hyper is cool. I haven't tried it enough with animation to have an opinion on it yet, but most of those break down when it comes to animation. But if you just want really fast generation, I think that's, you know, amazing. We got down to one step. What the hell? A lot of cool applications for real time there. Well, this is great. So again, we are just interpolating between these images. So if you've been making images, you got images, you like making images, this is a great workflow for animating those images. Let's try a claymation one. An adorable teddy bear playing the guitar in the forest. All these LoRAs that I'm using are all available on Civitai. Just go grab them if you want them. This one's Claymate. Last one I used was Opal. The one before that was Bismuth. Yeah. So many cool LoRAs on Civitai. And this is a really cool way to incorporate SDXL LoRAs with SD15 animation, because we're generating all of the synthetic data with SDXL, and then we're animating it with SD15. So. It's cool. It's cool, man. My hair looks insane tonight. Mad scientist vibes. What else is new? I was so confident in this prompt, I just generated 8. Excuse me. Pardon me. I need a cough button. Yeah, I think these bears look derpy enough. Let's get our derpy bears into the system, shall we? Derpy bears. What's up, Tenzia? Tenzia in the house. Bears. Bears. All right, let's take our derpy bears and make a derpy animation. Derpy bears. Yep, they are derpy. Oh, I don't know what the official pronunciation of anything is. Never assume that I'm saying anything right, please. Yes, interpolating between the images works very well now. With this new, IPAdapter weights. So you can go from like max to min over the course of each batch change. So it's sort of like gives you like a little float mask between each run. Sorry, each image in the batch, and then it runs them for however many frames you set. In this case, 6 frames per image. So the last one was these cool like opal animations, and this is what it made. So I'm just making 8 similar images and then interpolating between them. So this time we made a bunch of derpy bears. And we're going to try and interpolate between these derpy bears. Yeah, the workflow is on the video linked in the description below, the Latent Vision video. His workflows are right there. You can just grab them and load them up. I edited this one a bit, but I can send it to you after. I'm going to put it on my Discord. What is the way to get IPAdapter unified loader models to work? Do they need renamed? Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes they do. I don't know what the right answer is. I just know that if you go to the IPAdapter Plus GitHub, the file names are there and the folders I think are there, so you should be able to figure out what they're supposed to be called if they're not called the right names. I agree, it's annoying, but like I still haven't got VitG to work. I have the file, but it's not named properly, so I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, we'll play with it. if none of them load, they're probably all in the wrong folder. You might want to nuke that folder from Orbit and just uh, yeah, nuke that folder and then just grab them from the install models from this thing. All right, let's see how our bears turned out. Civitai. Oh, wow. Do, 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 do. I love that wink. And this is using a motion LoRA. That's why everything's falling down. We could use a different one. Let me try Spaceflight. So this should be like more chill. Yeah, so the motion LoRA really, you know, affects it a lot. So yeah. Yeah, so use the upscale video upscaler system on Banadoko. It's by I think it's by Palm and I think Spence helped with it, a few other people. Yeah. Oh, and speaking, yeah, I gotta announce a few guests I'm gonna have pretty soon. I gotta firm up the dates first before I announce them, but yeah. If you like or making LoRAs and you like doing stuff with the stuff you make, you're going to like my next two guests very much. I will say that. I believe it's the badass upscaler is for images, I think, or is it a badass videos? I forget what it's called. There's one that it's like the one. It's great. It takes a while, but it's awesome. So to make the motion LoRAs, I have a video on that. It's a couple videos back. It has custom motion LoRA. If you search Purz custom motion LoRA, it's in the title. I walk you through how to do it, but you just grab the default workflow off their GitHub, install the thing, and literally just hit the button. Change the res, type in some information like the name of it and what it is. The other thing you need to add is what you want the thing to generate with your motion LoRA so that you can test to see if it's working. And then you hit go and it'll takes about like 30 minutes on a 3090 and about 14 gigs of VRAM. So yeah, it won't work on anything less than 16 gig card, I think, unfortunately. All right, so let's make some new stuff. So the claymation bears are cool. Let's try some. Let me try some Star Trek characters. Star Trek TNG on the Enterprise. Picard and Worf enjoying a drink in 10 forward. This is probably going to be nonsense, but let's kick it. I'm just looking for the name of that upscaler, you know, that thing that makes the upscales. Oh man, there's so many new workflows on Banadoko. Who's got the time? It's from like a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. Super badass video upscaler. That's the one. I'm going to drop the link in the chat. So that's the super badass video upscaler on Banadoko. If you're not on Banadoko, go to banodoko.ai and click their Discord link. Oh no, it turned Picard into Worf. Whatever, we're going to roll with it. Perfect. Well, these are perfect. They're totally insane. I love them. Let's do it. Grab our Star Treks. Desktop. Inits. Okay. Star Trek TNG. And pop you in here. Beautiful. These are fantastic. Worf and his twin brother. Oh, yeah, the ear bugs from Wrath of Khan. No, no, thank you. That's Tenzia's territory. Go check out Tenzia's Instagram if you like gross shit. And amazing music. I'm just trying to get the username right here. What is it? Underscore Tenzia underscore. Yeah. Yeah, it does. It takes forever. Pay no attention to the fact this is the 178th run I've done this. Yikes. I didn't realize that's a lot of jobs. Yeah, for sure, dude. These wharfs are looking like real distinguished gentlemen. What's a group of wharfs called? It was like a school of fish or like a platoon of wharfs. Probably a Klingon word. Oh, yeah. Nailed it. A worder of wharfs. Like a murder of crows. Interpolate the wharfs. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Oh, thanks, Velvet Jones. Much appreciated, buddy. Every little bit helps. I really appreciate that. And that's not a little bit. That's a lot of bit. Thank you very much. Look at the roof. Look at the water. Like, look at the... Ignore the hands, but look at the water. Look at the drinks. They look great. They're all like jiggling around and stuff. This is great. Now I'm starting to wonder if these are connected properly. Yeah, they are. And then you're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where you come from? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then image 1, image 2. Yep. Okay. It feels like we're not getting enough of the frames, but I think it's because we're not using enough frames. So it's, you know, if I increase the time each image has on screen, it'll take longer to render, obviously, because we got to render more frames, but we'll get more changes and more cool stuff going on. Now, one really cool thing I was doing earlier was abstract paintings. So let's see if that works. Let's get rid of this LoRA. So I'm going to set the strength on this LoRA to 0, which effectively nullifies it. There's a million ways to deal with LoRAs. If you want to use multiple LoRAs, you can make a LoRA stack. There's nodes to do LoRA stacks. Prefer using LoRA stacks most of the time because you can literally hard turn them on and off. Do whatever you want. It doesn't matter. It's all the same. All right. Let's do abstract painting, neon colors, vibrant hues, and swaths of intentional color. Splatter. Blobs. All right. Bring the fury. So with custom motion LoRA and abstract stuff, I was getting some really great results of having the abstract stuff flowing together. So let's try that here. Morph looks suspicious of his brother. Well, these are great. Okay, yeah, I think this one's going to be sick. That's exactly what I asked for. Morph pod. Clean up my hard drive. What are you talking about? 95%? That's optimal. Just living on the edge, baby. Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, let's grab these. Let's grab these from my folder. Call it splotches. And we'll grab them from outputs. Splotches. Bring it. At 8. So go back over here and splotches. Now, I had really good results with that flame flame custom LoRA. So let's try that. Flames. And I had it at 0.666. The devil's strength. All right. Hit it. Oh, the other thing I was going to do is increase the duration. So we're going to do each one for 12 frames. So you'll notice this took, where is it? It was 48 frames. 48 frames before, and now it is it'll tell us on the next step here how big the animation is going to be. 96. So we've gone from 48 frames to 96 frames because we're sitting on each frame a little longer. So yeah. That also increases the chances of it to interpolate better as it jumps context and stuff. So yeah, I mean, should be good. It won't take much longer. We're only generating it like 896 by 512 or something. All right, well, this is going. I'm going to try and clean this up a bit. So image randomizers, there, yeah, and you guys are all green. Okay. This, I'm going to change the name to path to images. Okay. Let's make a group for this stuff. No. Add group. There we go. Input images. All right. This is the settings and stuff. This is animatediff. This is IP adapters. This is the prompt and such. This is the generation. I'm going to remove this stuff because it hurts my brain. Okay. And then outputs. And this is diffusion, outputs, and IP adapter stack up here. Cool. Okay. So this is animatediff. This is IP adapters. This is, oh wait, this is animatediff. This is checkpoint and settings. This is clip. This is diffusion. Outputs. Yeah. All right, cool. Input images, we will make green. Checkpoint and settings, also green. IP adapters will be cyan. Animatediff light blue if it's not already. Yep. Clip is yellow. Diffusion is purple. And outputs are blue. Yeah, babes. All right, cool. Okay. Hopefully, you know, that's usable for people. So yeah, I'll throw that on the Discord tonight. You guys can play with it. Oh, man. Yeah. So yeah, this workflow is overpowered. Highly recommend you guys all go play with it. I am going to put it on the Discord tonight, as well as I'll just throw this workflow up too, so you can, just quickly make stuff. And then if you want to use IP adapters, you can unbypass all this stuff. And you can use your face. You can use anything else to drive the style as well. So, yeah, have fun. That's all I really wanted to cover tonight. The other workflow is just too complicated, and I don't really understand it. It's great. It's really cool. It takes a long time to run, but it's awesome. Check out the video, Matteo's video, Latent Vision. The last half of his video talks about the weights, using weights with IP adapters so that you can put words and stuff in, depth maps, whatever you want. You can apply control net to this and have them go back and forth and work together. But again, it's very confusing. But yeah, so yeah, I'll just package this stuff up and throw it on the Discord. You guys can play with it. Thanks so much for hanging out, and I appreciate it. Go forth, make things, tag me. I want to see it. If you appreciate what we do here, swing by the Patreon and become a supporter. Get access to a special channel in Discord, all that stuff. I will be back very soon, probably Monday. If not the weekend, it depends. I've got some projects I've been working on, so that's why I've been streaming as much. Just things have been picking up a bit. So yeah, I'm just going to make a concentrated effort to try and stream more and just, show you guys what I'm up to, because yeah, this is really powerful, really easy to use. So grab the workflow. And again, just all you have to do is put the name of the folder that you want to pull the images out of in here and hit go. Make sure all these models are correct and in the right place, and easy peasy. If you're not sure what models I used, it's all at the beginning. They're all here also. You can use any SD15 checkpoint. Use the LCM loader. Use the AnimateTiff LCM. Rip it. Yeah, I want to see what you make. Play with this. Also play with this context overlap. I have it up high. You can turn it down to get jerkier animations, things like that. But yeah, I mean, as you can see, this is a crazy result for the amount of time we put into it. So go take all the stuff you made already, all the images you have that are in similar vibes, group them together, and then make interpolations out of them. Use the custom motion LoRAs on Civitai and have fun. Purz loves you. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.